What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Joe Chapo back in the building. Another edition of If They Only Knew. As always, we got your boy Main Light out in the Bronx. What up?
Yo, what's good, everybody? Let's stand up, eye talkers. You know what I mean? Make sure we hit that like, subscribe, share, comment, and also make sure you hit that bell so you know we coming.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, that was
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Anyway, today we got a very special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone. Thank you guys so much for having me on. My name is Domonique, and I'm not really from anywhere. I'm a military brat, but I can always respect the hats that y'all wear because my father is from Brooklyn. I'm sorry, not Brooklyn, the Bronx. I don't even know how I just switched that up.
We from the Bronx.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So I'm naturally a Giants fan. So
Oh my God! What you said? You
I should have wore my Giants sweatshirt. I get criticized for it, but it's because people don't know better.
It's all right. This year is gonna be a good year. This season is gonna be a way better.
This is the year. Like this is the year that everything falls in line. Like they were, we lost some people. People were, off. We're realigned.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Jones and then Barkley's probably gonna be back.
Don't say probably. He's going to be back.
Yes.
The O-line is gonna protect him.
Yes.
And we're just gonna pray for the rest of it.
I wish we could have did it with Eli, but we'll do it with Jones. So
it was time for him to go. But yeah, so I guess I speak now, or I reach out on situations here because I actually moved out to Arizona. It sounds like real good. Like, oh, she's gonna go get her master's and she's gonna teach English at a HBCU and be like super educated and picture perfect on the resume for your parents. But no, that didn't happen. Went out to actually happy hour with one of my homeboys. I was about to actually fly back to North Carolina. Woke up. Long story short, I ended up having to sign a plea for 5 to 7 years just because they said that I caused some accident that I still to this day I hold no memory of. But it was really traumatic because it was like over a progress of let's see, it happened October 2014. I signed the plea May 13th, 2015. I didn't find out the truth until probably January of maybe 2016.
Shit. So when you say the truth, were you not involved in the accident or?
Oh no. We were involved. we were definitely in the car. Okay. I broke everything in my body. So I have permanent proof. I shattered my femur, broke a toe, my shoulder plate, my elbow. And then the reason why I don't remember anything is because I got such a bad concussion. And so that's the thing, you hear about concussions with football all the time, right? But it's not until you actually get one or you understand why it's so drastic, because it's literally I could hold a conversation with you right now in 10 minutes. I might remember.
Yeah.
We might be able to talk about it. So, all of that stuff was proof, I was definitely there. Yeah. However, I was telling the first attorney that we had, because my parents went and got an attorney quickly, and we thought if we drop money, we good. No. So they didn't do any investigation. They basically said, oh, you drove 8 miles down the wrong side of a highway and you had alcohol in your system. And I'm like, bro, that don't even sound like me. I was like, because I dropped my homeboy off at his hotel. So if I dropped him off and I was too drunk to drive, I would have stayed there. Trust me, I didn't ruin plenty of college nights because I'm too drunk to drive and leave my homeboy's house. So, don't have me over here drinking if y'all got plans, because I'm not going nowhere. So I was like, yo, this doesn't go with me. This don't match up. But she was like, no, we got eyewitnesses. Fast forward to this, me discovering the truth. We have eyewitnesses describing another person's car. We have people saying that they cannot see inside the car because the windows are tinted. The car that I was driving did not have any tinted windows at all. And there was the first person the detective called and interviewed, they were like, do you know the race of the driver? Literally, I have it written down on a transcript in my closet. He says, I cannot tell you if the driver was a man or a female, but the driver was definitely white, not black or Mexican.
What?
They did this interview like January 12th or something. I might be making the number, but it was in January. I signed a plea in May. So y'all had a witness telling you back in January that the driver was white, and y'all still came after me. It's just like, so a lot of it was like, you get frustrated because it's like, so y'all knew the truth, but y'all still.
They
So
said,
that's
we need somebody.
that's what led me to my life right now.
Oh shit! Wait, that's a lot to take in. Okay, hold on. Okay, so it started off basically with you just going to hang out for the night, happy hour, and your last memory was you leaving to happy hour, and then your next memory was you waking up to in jail, or
No, my last memory was sitting on the couch at my homeboy's hotel room. I called one of my friends up, let him know that, you know, I was there from college. And then I sat down and I remember having the conversations. We can't get lit tonight. We got stuff to do tomorrow. Because we already know how we get around each other. We attended A&T together, and that's just, it was, yeah, good times. So that's the last thing I remember. After that, I remember like waking up in this room and I just remember kept going to sleep, like just sleeping. Like I wasn't asking questions. I do remember them taking me to a hospital, putting me on an x-ray machine. I never asked anybody what they were doing, why I'm getting x-rays, why I'm at the hospital, why, nothing. I didn't ask anything. I think it was like a random day, something happened and all of a sudden I see like all these people with guns and I'm just like, wait a minute. And that was when a time my mom she was doing the Skype calls so she could like lay eyes on me. Because there was other things going on unbeknownst to me at the time. I learned later. But I just broke down crying. I was like, yo, I don't know what I did. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm sorry. Like get me out of here. And she was like, just chill. She's like, yo, it's good. I'll be there on Monday to come get you. Like, we're good. Like nobody said anything to me about what was going on. I guess trying kind of like in fear because they realized like I didn't know anything.
Yeah. Damn, man. So shit, yeah. I'm just picturing that shit can happen to anybody, yo. Like God.
Anybody.
Damn, yeah. See, I'm glad I don't drink, yeah. Whew, I'm glad I don't drink. I prefer to inhale my drinks.
You know, I mean, that's the thing about it. It's like once you go to like, you know, you go to college and then you see people coming out with all these like nice degrees and blah blah blah, and then you realize that people start catching DUIs and DUIs are knocking stuff like the boards. Like people aren't getting hired because you got pulled over for a DUI, not even convicted, just pulled over for it. So I just always had a fear of them. And, you know, I watched some of my dumbass friends like catch, you know, multiple DLs, like was like, we're not gonna be you. So that was just like my mindset. So I knew like that's where I knew in the beginning. I was like, yo, this don't even sound right. Yeah, it just didn't.
All right. So they made you believe that everything was stacked against you. So you decided to take this plea 5 to 7. What was it like the day before you had to, I guess you had to self-surrender at that point, or
yes.
You had on bail? Okay.
So it was kind of weird because like before I signed the plea, it was just kind of like we were just in limbo because like in my head I was going home. But then as the time kept going and like we're going to more court and it's just like, oh y'all really trying to see me locked up. Like I don't get it. But my parents were never for signing the plea. And that's like, I tell people like, honestly, like I got the real experience out here. My father is like one of the realest things I know in life. Like, and so if he has my back on not signing something, that's when y'all got to know something's up. And the night before, because I had already convinced myself that I was okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm like preparing myself mentally. But the night before, my parents talked me out of it. So they took me out to a lake and they were like, yo, don't do it. We didn't have answers, but like they're really adamant in whatever they said at that day. Like I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. So I called my lawyer and I told him like I needed to talk to her before. And so she called me back and I was like, I'm not signing the plea. And she said, okay, cool. Well, we need $30,000 ASAP. Wait, what? Literally, I might have been on the phone for maybe like 4 or 5 minutes, but the first thing that you tell me, not why are you not signing the plea, or what is, what can I do, or what's happening, or no, we need $30,000. I was like, yo, what is $30,000 for? You already got 40 out of us. And they said that those were the trial expenses that are supposed to be paid 30 days before trial date. And because I'm signing the plea and the trial date was listed for like the first week in June, I had already passed the 30 days. So they needed that ASAP. Like what they didn't tell me is that there's no way that trial would have been the first week in June. So you don't need, this money ASAP.
For that money, that's all they care about. That's crazy.
So, yeah, I went ahead and signed it because we didn't have an argument. I don't remember anything. And it's literally at this point, my word against yours. Like I've already been in, when my mom came to bond me out the first time, they had my bond set at $200,000. Like we had to work it to get it to 50 G's. And the day that I was there, and I remember being there, they were sitting up there telling people like I had 3 DUIs on my record. And I was like, no, I don't. Like I've never had a DUI in my life. Like, and I went to say that, and my lawyer was like, oh, we have to investigate. You haven't looked at my background check yet? Like $40,000 doesn't get you a background check.
Sound like a public defender there. That doesn't sound like a paid attorney.
No, that's paid. Elizabeth Mullins, that's her name.
Yeah. Huh, so your parents is totally against. They must have been throwing numbers at you. So if they was offering you the 5 to 10, how much were they saying you was facing?
They said that if I went to trial, they were gonna stack my charges, and I was looking at worst case scenario, 33 years. Can I just remind y'all that nobody died in that car accident? Like I just thought that was like another highlight.
Yeah. So yeah, 5 to 7 definitely would sound much better than that.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded to me 5 to 7 sounds like a long time, but it's all on perspective. Yeah. So if you tell somebody that just got life in prison, oh, they can do 5 years. 5 years sounds like nothing. Yeah. Like you're complaining at this point. Yeah. But when you talk to somebody that's never even thought that they would ever end up there, that's the rest of my life. Yeah. Yeah. And so that was something that I had to catch myself on, because I got checked on that like a couple times quick. Because people would ask me, they're like, yo, how long you get? I'm like, forever. When you getting out, never. So I'm on a medium custody yard, and I'm saying this. And then when people found out what I actually got, like, they're like, mad, like, they were like, bro, like, you do understand that there are people here that aren't ever going home. Yeah. And you just have to learn that and understand, like, it's just cruel. It's a cruel system.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. So what was it like first day going in there and actually facing this reality now? This new
first day so when I walked back after court, that wasn't real life. Because I don't know, I put on this face for my parents. Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like I was supposed to look like a G or something. I don't know. So I just temporarily blocked out emotions. But I didn't cry until the first day they brought my dinner. I love food. And the morning of before I signed the plea, they kept asking what I wanted to eat. Clearly, I don't want anything to eat. But that's all I could think about is all the food I could have had this morning, or all what I should have asked for. But no, I after that, I was like, yo, can we pull my plea? I can't live like this. I need good food. But just as you go on, especially, so I know a lot of people are familiar with Maricopa County jails because of the guy from the Capitol. Yeah. That's where I was at. The food is that bad. So I wasn't judging the dude for making a fuss about his diet. I was like, I feel you. You found a way to try to beat the system. Because that's what everybody does.
Tent City? So were you outside?
Oh, no. So when I was there at Tent City you had to be there for extended times, or you had to be on work release to be at Tent City. There was stipulations for Tent City, but people they killed for that. Why? It's July and 120 degrees outside.
It looks like it's hot as fuck. I guess it's more movement, I guess.
I don't know. I think maybe you have a little bit more free, you feel a little bit more free. Because the rest of the and I say that because in the dorms, you're literally think of not even a cafeteria. That's too much room. like maybe like think of like a big classroom that you might have been in school. And so you know where all the desks are, right? You know, and they're lined up. And so double the class size and then add a bathroom to it. And then that's it. And stay in there all day and have fun.
So
Like it's literally like rows on rows on rows. Like I can reach up, I can reach to the side that all sides of me, there's somebody sleeping there within like arm's distance.
damn, so you just
And
staring at each other all day.
yeah, and you just like that bathrooms are wide open, the showers are wide open, you know, there's no separation. It's a traumatic kind of like trying to like fit in. And I know like I have like a face that I make people want to hit me. Like I just like sometimes my facial expressions are terrible.
I'm not feeling any hostility right now towards you.
Like so like all you gotta do is something and like I'm about to and I might not even be thinking anything that bad. But I was like, Dom, just look down because you're gonna die. Somebody's gonna shank you. They're gonna think you about that life. We not about that life. Like, you know, I'm just going off of like stereotypes because all I did was have Netflix and Google before I went in. And I didn't have no friends. Like I could be like, yo, what's this about to be like? I know. And then you go to like the prison, and the prison is 10 times worse because you get there and for RNA, you could be there from 10 days to 3 months, and you're in a cell with 3 other people with no air condition. And I went in July. I got there. No, June 26th is when I got there. And it was like 115, 117 degrees. And you have on this big jumper, the orange jumpsuits that people like see, like they give you that when you first get there, and you're not supposed to take it off. And you just that's your intro to prison. Like, welcome, be happy.
So what was it like with the guards? Were they corrupt?
Oh yeah.
'Cause, they definitely have a bad rep. Mary Copeland.
They're as bad as the rep is. The only thing that is unfortunate is like I can think of probably like a handful, literally a handful of people there that have good hearts. And there's one in particular, his name starts with a W, and he's so dope. Like he used to be a boxer, and he doesn't need the money. He works there literally just to be like a good spirit there. And it's just like when you see him come on the yard, like you're like, all right, cool, we're gonna have a good day or a good shift, you know? And there's a couple more like that, but it's like they get weeded out.
Yeah.
It's like you're not corrupt enough or you're not heartless enough to work there. And I applaud the ones that stay as long as they do. But it's really ugly. If there people get ugly in some sort of fashion, like guys, it's like I feel like they have like girlfriends and like they didn't get head or something last night, and so they come in mad and looking like taking it out on us. Like it's like, bro, like what did I do to you to make you this mad? Like really. But it's just, or they have the God complex. Like they control everything.
Yeah.
And so that's when people like myself don't become favorites, because I remind them, like, you know, when you leave here, right?
Exactly.
Nobody has
Like,
to
I don't even understand these guards. Like you have to leave there at some point. Like somebody could be waiting for you at any point. Like I would just do my shift and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
I wonder though, because I wonder how they act different in men's prisons, because it's like, do you treat women like this because you're not scared of us? Or is this just who you think you are? Like you think people are about to be locked up forever. They're going to forget your name. They're not going to have any of your information. Like, how do you?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, in men prisons, man, they just beat the crap out of us. You know what I mean? Like that's how they do us, man. Like they do us dirty, man. But I did 6 years in prison in New York State, so you know they beat the crap out of us, man. Like they racist.
How did you get away with that?
I don't understand. Like everybody that I've had on here pretty much has been beat up by the cops. They've got their ass kicked, fingers broken, stomped out, like everything, gassed.
Yeah.
So many, every single person, except for like a couple of like like one of the females actually, because actually the other ones, didn't she say? Didn't Red Breed say she had an altercation with the?
Yeah, yeah. So, but that was on the island,
Yeah.
not the prison.
Oh,
But it just, it's different in New York. I don't know Carolina, you know what I mean? But I know Rikers Island in upstate New York, especially
Yeah, I
right.
watched the documentary on I just lost his name out of my head. What is it, Khalil Brown? Did I just make that up?
Yeah, no.
Broward.
Okay, yeah, I
No.
watched the documentary when I was still literally in on a prison bed. And it was like traumatic watching it, still being incarcerated, but then it was kind of like I needed it to remind me like, hey yo, let's be grateful. That's not where we live. Like, because I don't know that setting at all. And I wouldn't know how to like, protect myself with that. Like, I learned really quickly in the prison that I was at that girls were just this. And so once I find out that you're just this, like, I'm no longer scared of you. Like, you're no longer the threat that I saw on TV anymore. So like, either you about your stuff or you ain't. Like, I'm really big on respect and all, manners. And so it's just like, I'm going to respect you in your setting. This is your setting. I'm just here right now. But it's just like, if you popping off and you acting like you're going to do all this stuff, the second that I see that you're not about that life, I don't have to respect you.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's just how that works.
Was there
But yeah, nobody fights like that there at all.
So was there any type of politics? Were there gangs? There was no type of gangs. It was because I've heard that with females prison that they've had gangs in there. There was stuff going down, but then I also hear like it's all relationships and doing makeup and playing household.
Okay, so I won't say that there weren't people that were in gangs there. But gangs that I don't know. Like, the first time my dad like came to see me, he was so confused with everything. Number one, the minority in Arizona isn't Black. Mexican. So that's what's populated, the prison system. Yeah. So you don't go out there and see a yard full of Black people. There might be, the last yard I was on might have had 30 Black people on it. Damn. Maybe. Damn, that might be a reach, but it's around 30 or so Black women up there. My closest friends, all Mexican. And it's just like, I was like my dad was like, but you breaking the rules. What rules, Dad? You ever been locked up? But then I know, like, you're not, like, in men's prisons, like, Black people stick with Black people, Mexicans, and Aryans and all that stuff. But it's not clicked off like that there. They started trying to get into a space of that, but that was because there was a couple Black people that were speaking out on stuff, but that didn't last long at all.
So is there any, like, I would assume that most of the fights is over some like relationship type thing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Girlfriends. So, yeah, majority of it is like, but majority of like the bad ones are like on like high custody yards, with max yards. I guess stuff gets more serious there because people are there for longer, more extended times. And then there's like all these rules. I learned like before I left, like what you're supposed to do. Like, if you want to get a girlfriend, but then you got to run it through if she might not be in a relationship now, but if she's ever been in a relationship with someone that's like an OG on the yard, then basically she's like not, you can never talk to her. And if you do talk to her, it's like, I'm just like, bro, is it really that serious though? Like, those are like, I know a girl that got cut over some stuff with that in the face, but that's the only reason. Like, the first fight I actually saw was this like 50-year-old woman trying to fight this younger white chick because she owed her $2 from store. Like, but it was like slow motion. I was like, wait, this is my first prison story? Like, this is what.
Did anybody try you while you was in there?
Not like consistently, but it was I didn't fit in, and I'll never try to fit in anywhere. Yeah. But it was this one lady in particular. She would always say smart stuff, or she'd just be like, yo, I'm not teaching her this, or I'm not doing this. Like, bro, ain't nobody asking you to. And like she just put herself on this like high level of whatever badness that she placed herself on, whatever, I don't know. But I was just like, I don't know, for whatever reason I was just a sore to her. But I ignored her most of the time. Like I ain't give too much energy at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm just certain people I just refuse to, like I just like, you never look at somebody and be like, yo bro, like you can't make me mad, like you don't get to be the one that but yeah, so but we ended up moving like around yards. And so what she didn't know, which a lot of people didn't know, is that, you know, I was fighting for my appeals. Like, yo, we got proof, like we got stuff, like, you know, we thinking like we out. And the day that I found out my first motion got denied, like that ain't something like it doesn't sit well anyway. Like, and then to be incarcerated, and then like it's kind of like basically like you feel like your freedom just got snatched over again. She pulled some stuff, like it's just talking and coming up with rumors, and like I walked past her and she was popping off at the mouth, and I tried my best to get at her ass. Like I'm not not a fighter. Yeah, like I mean the kid got like a black belt in martial arts and stuff, whatever. I know how to fight, but I'm just not gonna be that person. This girl, two of my friends actually did everything to like stop me from getting her. And then like by the time the officer came out, technically I was already supposed to have a ticket. You know. But I just didn't care at that moment. It's like I got frustration right now. You've been getting on my nerves since I got to this place. Like you looking like
he's gonna think twice the next time.
Right, because that's the thing. People like look at me and they're just like, "Oh, she's so sweet and nice, and you know, passive, and like, oh, she wouldn't do anything." All right.
So you did your time. How long did you actually do out of the 5 to 7?
85%. felt like forever. So yeah, I went in May? I walked out July 9th. No, July 5th, 2019.
Okay.
So
what was that like coming back to
coming up for your first year? Coming up for your first year.
Yeah.
No. I'm about to come on my 2 years. But sometimes it feels like 2 days. Like I don't sometimes I feel like I ain't been out that long at all. But yeah, I got out and I don't know what I was expecting. But this one, COVID wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's start with COVID. Like COVID definitely, I wasn't like, I remember walking in the house and my mom had the news on, and all I remember hearing is the governor getting on talking about they were going to lock down the state. I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. Like, you don't get to tell me lockdown. Like, that's what you don't. That was like, because you condition yourself. You're like, yo, like, you know, 8 o'clock, you hear lockdown. You're just like, yo, when I leave, you can never tell me to lock down again. And like, legit, like, they told me to lock down again. Like,
one lockdown to another. Man, I would have been hanging out at the window, just sitting on the windowsill, my legs outside, on the roof, something just to get some sort of outside. See, in New York, we have fire escapes. So we could just go hang out and stand outside of the fire escapes, and it's like we outside, and we could go from floor to floor. So like,
no, I mean, I stay, like, my mom has a house that's it's on 4 acres of land, so there's like nobody around. So like we got the porch and stuff. If I want to go outside, I can go outside. But I'm like a really social person, and you know, I got locked up, and then like everybody started moving around the country, and so there's like no one here.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so what you mean I can't go, like so that was my only thing. But you know, clearly like everybody else, we adapted, you know, kind of evolved into other things, and you know, we're able to kind of protect. I got it. That was like probably the biggest thing I did. I got a therapist because that was needed. A lot of people downplay or criticize people that have been released out of prison, but the mental side effects of that, man, it's
ask you about
real.
So
it's real.
You developed a case like a form of PTSD from being locked up?
Okay. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I thought like I felt like I had like one of the strongest mentalities going in there. You know, I'm very confident. Like I told you, like my dad, it's something about New York dudes. Like it's like, and you just like they just have it together. You know, if they got that spirit and you know they're about their business, like you know, all you can do is respect it. And my dad instilled like all of that in me. And like you always know, like, okay, it sucks right now, but you get up and you keep walking. All right, you know, I remember one day he told me, he's like, go ahead, go lay down and cry, but guess what happens when you wake up in the morning? All right, cool. So he doesn't always display, like, he's not the most compassionate person sometimes, but you always know, like, it's always in a method of like, yo, we got to keep moving. And so when you got people like myself that don't feel like we can keep moving anymore, you're just like, wait a minute. And so even like coming out, that was one thing I would fear police officers now. Like, I didn't even get arrested by a police officer. I just know you guys lied on me and it stuck. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And so your word means nothing to me. And I got hit in the back of the car last Christmas. Like I'm at the stoplight, minding my business. I don't know what song was on, and this car just rams into me. And out of nowhere, like I'm freaking out. Then we get out the car. My car is good completely. His car is screwed. As soon as I realized like I don't need anything from you, I'm out. Yeah. And so I was like his blessing because now you don't have to report this to your insurance, even though you probably need it because whatever. But it was like I realized like I dipped out on a situation that wasn't even my fault. I could have been hurt. I needed that man's insurance information, but I was so scared of the police officers. Like I was like, yo, they're gonna say I did it. They're gonna like make up some BAC and tell me I'm drunk. Like I didn't want to deal with it. So like the side effects are, yeah, they last for a little bit sometimes.
So do you think that therapy has been helping so far?
Yeah. It definitely helps. I mean, but there's like a couple things like that tied into that. Like, cause when I was in there, when I started going through, I told you guys I don't like to fight, but I had days where I woke up and that's all I wanted to do was fight. Because yo, no, seriously, like think about like a girl that you were like you really feeling, right? And how much she has the potential to get on your nerves. Okay, that's somebody like now. Just think about that feeling with that one person, right? And multiply that by like 700 women.
Yeah.
And like live with them. And like you wake up to them, you go to the bathroom with them, like you eat with like they don't ever go away. They don't shut up. Like all of them want attention. Like everybody got to be special to somebody. Like it's like, bro, like
that should make my head hurt just thinking about it. Like,
I know it's like guys be like, yo, I would love to be in a room full of women. Would you? Like really, would you?
Damn, yeah.
Like, so no, it's just like I went through, like I just started wanting to fight everybody. So I went to psych and I knew better, but I was like desperate because I was like, look, I'm either gonna fight or y'all can help me. Like what we got to do. But the guy told me that I was bipolar. And I was like, I'm not bipolar. Like I ain't never. And so long story short, he ended up putting me on a psych medicine that I started refusing. Like I might have been on it for like maybe a week, but then you have to take pills at a certain time. And so our time was like 5:30. And immediately I knew it wasn't going to work out for me because it made me miss a Giants game. And you know, I get lucky for it to catch like Sunday night football with Giants.
Yeah.
And because I don't have ESPN, all I have is Fox and NBC. The game came on, and I missed the game. I was like, yeah, this medicine doesn't work. Like, like you messing with football now. So, but it was just bad because it had other side effects. Like I think I probably gained like a good 20 pounds in like a week, and I wasn't even eating anything. And then it just made you feel like I would have like really bad nightmares. And so when I brought it back up to my therapist now, because like there was other things that, you know, developed, I started like having issues focusing, and I have like a lot of things on my plate with things that I'm doing now and work and jobs and a lot. Like I would just like crash and I would like lay in my bed and think about what I needed to do. And then cuss myself out for not doing what I'm thinking about. And then get mad at myself in the morning and be like, yo, bro, like for what? Like, what did you just do? So we spoke, and she said something about bipolar off gate too, but what it is that there's a lot of mental illnesses that they share common symptoms. And so if you have an individual or a doctor that's not willing to like speak with you and kind of like dig through what's going on, speak about not just that week, but like the past years or 5 years or whatever else, then you're going to get misdiagnosed and you might end up on a medicine that you don't even need. And that happens a lot. It's more common in the Black communities, Black and brown communities, because, you know, we don't always have Black doctors available to us. Even when we do have Black doctors, a whole new twist on things that like I really don't like, but I've stepped away from, is like the Black Nigerian kind of racism that we receive. Because what I learned when I moved to Arizona is like a lot of Nigerians don't like us. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, so they criticize, and they're harder on Black people as well. And so it's just like, if you're not getting that assistance, or if you don't know to kind of like speak to somebody in a more, you know, in-depth manner, they can tell you got anything and you're gonna believe them.
Yeah.
Because they have a degree.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Yeah, like I was able to, you know, speak to her. I do have ADHD, which it's very common as well, especially in the Black community. It's very manageable. You know, there are things, it's good for people to speak and see if there's something going on with them, because if you have something wrong with you and you're trying to play it off, like, oh, you can get over it. No, you need to talk to somebody, because you're going to make it worse. And then, you know, the symptoms are going to become more severe. And if you don't help it, then it just becomes like a long-term, like, you know, you get like other long-term side effects, and it's no bueno.
Yeah, I agree. And we actually we doing like an open forum this Saturday, which
Yes, yes.
join if you're available, where we bringing it back probably about 10, 10 of our previous guests, and they all actually spoke on, you know, on PTSD themselves. They suffer from it, and like we've had people that's did, you know, was it 7.5 years in solitary, you
I
know,
don't know how
almost
they
2
survive
years.
that.
Yeah, Jermaine, you said you did like what, 13 months? You said
Yeah, I did 13 months. Yeah.
13 months in solitary, and you know,
How do you like, but how do you get past that though? Like, what do you wake up and tell yourself?
So just you pretty much take it hour by hour. You can't even take it day by day, man. You just gotta worry about the next hour, man. Like, I mean, it's just, you know, like for me, right, when my pops, man, main reps in peace, but my pops, we used to play chess through leathers. So he made me a paper chessboard and he sent me pieces. So I'll send him a letter today with one move. He'll get the letter, he'll send me a letter back with this move, and I'll have that little paper with the pieces set up like that. Stuff like that got me going. But other than that, man, it's like, you know, you probably got a few books in there. You know, you might work out a little bit. You do get to go on visits, but it's only maybe like once a week. You take 3 showers a week. I mean, you just, you know, a lot of us that's in there, it affected all of us. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody that's coming out that place gonna sit there and tell me they're not mentally broke. You know what I mean? Because I know I was, and I still am. So, you know what I mean?
I think that's probably like one of my biggest frustrations that I have. Like, and I just like recorded a video on it last night. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it. We're gonna see. But I was basically just saying, like, people have to stop saying I didn't just get out of prison, because there's sometimes I'll be like, yo, I'll make a reference of like, you didn't just get out though, or you've been out for a year, or 7 months, or I'm glad you're keeping track, but you know, I some days you don't feel like it. And you know, I remember saying something to a friend like the other day, and I was saying something, I was like, yo, I don't know how to shop for clothes. Like, because we haven't had to really, you know, go anywhere. When COVID started, I know the side effects of staying in one location and what can happen with weight. So I got serious with like my diet and working out. So I didn't, you know, gain weight over COVID. Like, that was the only thing. Thank you, prison, for preparing me of like, what's gonna happen if I just sit here and do nothing. But it's just, I don't know how to go shopping. Like, I really don't know how to date. Like, I went in at 27, coming out at 33. 32, but turned 33, whatever. That's a big gap
Yeah, it
in
is.
age, men maturing, women maturing, like that's the transitional phase. I missed all of that.
Yeah, these new type of dudes. What do you think about these new skinny jean type of dudes?
I don't like. Okay, so the smaller jeans, like that's not super tight. Like they're just like more form. Those are cool. Those are okay.
Yeah.
But like the leggings,
Yeah.
I don't get it. And another thing, I'm probably about to pick up a couple of people that don't like me anymore after that. That's cool. And this is not disrespect to like any person, so if you would like to wear leggings and wearing leggings make you happy, I'm here to support it. I just, be around it. The one thing I walked out to was there was a huge thing with like body shaming with women, which I completely stand for. Like nobody should ever be made to feel uncomfortable because of their weight or to, feel that they have to look like Beyonce or look like, whoever's deemed the most pretty girl of the day, that changes. However, I don't know what to do with like how I'm supposed to react. Like, cause everybody wears crop tops now. Everybody wears bikinis now. And if like I said with the leggings, you want to wear leggings, cool. It's just I don't even know the right thing to say, but y'all feel me?
Yeah, I get you. I get it.
Like, cause I'm so for the support of every woman, on every level for anything. I'm here for it. I was just saying I just walked back into that phase of life where that was the thing, and I didn't know how to respond to it. That's what it was.
Yeah, I can imagine because it's definitely a whole new world, man. This is crazy. Dating to the music to just the whole lifestyle, this drug addict lifestyle that they live in. Like,
oh, how everybody likes coke.
Yeah,
I didn't know that until last year. Like I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, when we was coming up, if somebody pulled coke out, we were like, what the fuck are you a drug addict? Get the fuck, like we would have. They're like, oh shit, past that. Oh, whoa, what the fuck? I can't.
I was having a conversation. We were talking about stuff with school and like college, and I was like, wait, what? Like people at our school did this? Like, wait, this is common? Oh, all right, my bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I am too, like naive to a lot of things. Cause like I said, I'm like military brat, but where my dad's from, like he gets mad sometimes. He says like, the only thing I wish I let you grow up in New York.
Yeah,
and
I got a
like,
little girl too, and I feel the same way. But I feel like when you was describing everything about your dad, I was like, this is like the future of what my daughter is going to be saying exactly. Yeah, because we got to keep moving. I mean, I understand, but we got to.
But that's cool sometimes. But like sometimes, like dads like that are from New York. Attention, all males from New York. Raising daughters, it's needed and it's necessary to instill that like resilience in a person, so you don't look at everything as like defeat automatically, because there's some people that they break their nail and like their year's just not going to be the same.
Exactly.
All right, cool. But then there's sometimes your daughter is a woman that still needs a hug because this hurts and we don't feel like we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
And so we know that we're gonna make it. We know that we're gonna put one foot in front of and for the other one the next morning. But like right now, I just need my dad to hug me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So
that's
you guys
a lesson to me.
Your daughter.
My daughter's only 12 now, but that's definitely a lesson to me because I don't know, like people from New York feel like they have just a short lifespan. Like at any moment. Like it's like you can't get that out of your system. Like it feels like at any moment. So I feel like I gotta instill as much as I can in my daughter right now while I got the time.
No, you should.
Like, because her mom, she lives a whole different lifestyle. Like she's it's all through me. You know what I mean? Like I got to be real with her because what she lives is not reality.
Mm.
So I feel like the same way. Like, I understand that, but we have to keep pushing, regardless of what. We have to keep pushing. Life doesn't stand still, but I also feel like the daughter still needs the hug and she still needs that love. So that's definitely a lesson.
I mean, because you're the example for her. Like, you are what she knows to hold men to.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's just like, if you don't ever like let her, open up emotionally, then like, is she gonna feel comfortable opening up emotionally to a man? Like, if she's with the guy, she needs to be able to explain some stuff. Like, she shouldn't think that everything is just like black and white with relationships.
Definitely.
So that's like one thing. I mean, like I said, like my dad, he's worked on it. Like he's not as cold, but he's like, it's been like a work in progress for like a long time. And like, so you'll see like his initial response to something and be like, yeah, all right, bet. Good job. I'm like, yeah, you had to remind yourself real quick, didn't you?
That's a big step right there. That's
yeah, so it's like you're not gonna do it naturally. You just gotta remind yourself, like, yo, it's gonna be like you're gonna think about it, like something's gonna happen, and you're gonna be like, yo, that was cold. And you're gonna go back like 5 minutes later and probably go hug your daughter. Yeah, that hug at that moment is gonna be like the best thing to her.
Yeah.
But you just have like you say you're straight up with her, tell her that too. Like, yo, I want to be that person for you.
Trust me, I have these talks with my daughter. Like,
yo, you gotta soften up, Joe. Gotta soften up, Joe.
You gotta soften up just a little bit.
I know. Listen. That's definitely a lesson to me. I'm gonna. But I don't feel like but this is.
That's soften up.
Yeah, you already told me where you're from, so you've already been associated.
I get it. I'm bad to. All right. I'll pull it back a little bit.
I have a lot of close friends from New York, Brooklyn too, some up in Jersey, and all of y'all just like.
It's just man. Just imagine growing up where everybody's a bully. That's New York. Everybody's a bully, yeah. And you got to survive amongst bullies.
That's why you feel like life is short. You like literally anybody can hit me right now.
Yeah.
That's how I was on outside of town.
Yeah. So I live in Atlanta, and I still got it in me. I've been in Atlanta for 20 years. 20 years now. And everywhere I go, as soon as look, you from New York, right? You from New York.
I see that. I mean, I can tell it. I can hear it real quick in people. And then it's just like a certain. I don't know if it's like the way like you guys sit or carry yourselves or your personalities. It's just like some people are just like, all right. But my dad doesn't even have a New York accent. Like if you don't know that my dad's from there, then you just don't. Like that's the person like you can't. And I don't get how he made it out without an accent. Actually. I'm like, yo, I'd be disappointed. Like, Dad, like, why you don't sound like you from there? Why?
Some people try to lose. Like, I know how to turn it on and off. I work in corporate America, so I know how to.
Oh yeah.
But they know. No matter how much I try to hide it, they know certain stuff. What I say is gonna come out in New York. So. Everybody.
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
I know.
It's not. It's just, I mean, the
people
right people
like they automatically think we mean shit and think.
Y'all are.
Nah,
man.
That's the same thing all of y'all say. Like, yo, this is proven studies. You have to understand. I have very close friends from that place. I am created by someone from that spot. Yeah. It's like I'm not making this stuff up. You are very generous. You have probably really big hearts. You want great things for the world. However, and
pops off in New York. We are own culture. New York New York should be its own race. Like we shouldn't be called Black, Puerto Rican. We should just be called New York. Like that's my, you know what I mean? Because New York is a different beast. If you can live in New York, you can live anywhere, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's about to be a new world, old world now. Oh, you from the old world? Oh my God.
I think I would agree with that because you got to learn New York too. Like I remember we went out one night when my friends were living up there in Brooklyn. I went back to Harlem that night, but then had to catch a train back to Brooklyn the next morning. I didn't realize I was about to be spending like 3-4 hours on in the cold. Like the temperature dropped overnight. So I'm wearing like what I went out with. Like this ain't cute.
Platform.
Yeah, I couldn't.
There's no coverage in that platform. I don't even know why they have the walls at all. They might as well not even have it because the wind still flows right through it. It's not blocking anything. It might be trapping the cold in there for you.
I don't know how transportation period works in New York because I don't know what's better, like going on the train or fearing for your life in the car. Because it's like, like I feel like nobody knows how to drive, and these lines on the road, they don't mean nothing. Like you can just go wherever you want to go. Like, oh, that's cool. Like, what?
Yeah, we gotta get there. We, New York, we gotta get there, man. Everything's happening, man. You know what I mean?
But so my question for you is then, like, how does that kind of transfer over into like the world in prison in New York? So if it's like always like go get him, like I might die today, like something might happen and everybody's a bully, like is everybody just like take that and put it in there and it gets that much more dangerous?
That's a good point. I didn't even think of it like that. Maybe that is the reason why places like Rikers Island, because New Yorkers is not used to sitting down, especially adolescent New Yorkers. Like we was wild. We used to run all over the place. Now you gotta sit in a cell or for hours. When you come out, you hype, man. Like you know what I mean. So that's a good point. I didn't even think of it like that. You know what I mean? Because Rikers Island, it was wild, man. It still is wild, but it was wow.
Those videos, like I know they're real, but I just try to think about like how to, I don't know, like I personally just I don't agree with prison at all. And I will argue any person that will say that they deserve to go to prison. Because I'm going to tell you that you did. Like, I don't care.
Deserves it. You don't think somebody like a child rapist or a child murderer deserves to be in prison?
The system of prison that America has created? No. Absolutely not. Because you're not doing.
Can you elaborate on what do you mean by the system that America's created?
Okay, so number one, incarceration began back when Black folk was emancipated. Y'all need slaves again. So the 13th Amendment said that you can't enslave us because we didn't commit a crime. So you create all these laws. So, as it progresses, and they have this case system that they're trying to, levitate like rich white folk up to, and then other rich, whatever minority they choose to, pull up with them at the time so they can have like privileges as well. You have to kind of create the gap, and then now you have to place all this fear into people of like, why are we targeting these Black people? Because I've still yet to read the article or whatever story of like, oh, I see why y'all are scared of Black people now. Haven't really gotten to that part in history. I don't think it exists, but I'm still look. And you formulate this place where it's okay to talk down to them. It's okay. You've already been beating us the whole time. So now it's just like you have to find other ways of legal tactics. So mental, dissipation of like the strongest person. And so all this does is kind of elevate you guys. You create these war on drugs. You have all these systems, and you create this fear, and you employ all of these people that think that they're these terrible people in prison. I was a person that walked into prison thinking I was gonna get shanked because that's what television taught me. Like Scared Straight was the realest thing I saw, and I don't realize that a lot of people are putting up a front for cameras at that time. Like you don't know that half of them are faking and they're not that hard and they want to cry, they don't want to be, but that's all you and so people come in, they speak down to you, they speak bad about you, you hear about a charge and you're automatically judged inside there. I had every officer looking up trying to figure out why I was even in prison. So when you look at my charge, it either says like aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So now you're probably thinking I'm crazy, or I think one of them says vehicular something. So whatever you see, that's gonna, alter your judgment. You had officers sitting up there telling people who the child molesters were. Why? Why would you do that? Like, because probably the most evil side of women that I saw is once they found out who a child molester was. And my thing about that is, number one, it wasn't your child, it's not your business.
Yeah.
Number two, we're not talking about your charge. Like, that's not, none of why we're here is anybody's business, you know. And so I'm big on that. Like, your grief, your your vice or whatever you do, that is your business. Until you deal with me. And then if you do something against me, we'll handle it accordingly. Do I think that you should go to prison for it? No, like, it's literally, there's no crime that's been eradicated because prisons exist. No crime that's lowered. People didn't stop killing people. People didn't stop raping people. People haven't stopped, writing fraudulent checks, stealing food, like, and then like you have the whole new system of individuals that have like become to think that this is like the result of survival. So, I'm selling drugs and I did, this time, but my family's fed, they're good. This is what I have to do. Yeah. No, like, you had to sell drugs because you can't afford to feed your family. And that was the best thing you could do. The system is at fault for that because there should have been something else created outside of another prison. Like, there's ways to assist people than locking them up. Everybody doesn't want to be a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Like, but if that's the only thing that you have to like survive off of, that's what you're gonna do. That's like all these white women I would meet in prison. Y'all writing some fat checks. Not to say that only white women write bad checks. It's just who I met at the time. It's like, that's what you do. You don't go to drugs, you go to checks. Survival. You have to be able to afford to try to make it in America. And everybody can't, like, and even like I told somebody the other day, look at all of the biggest drug dealers or, kingpins that you know of. They all ended up having like donation charities and, give, like, they're like the Robin Hoods of their, their area. Like, they're really not that, they're not evil. They just did what they had to do to get to what everybody in America wants.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing. And so it's just like, some of us went the route thinking that college was the answer to that. That's a lie. It's just everybody picks their way. And if you grow up in an area where you get rich off of drugs, and then that's what you know.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. I didn't grow up in that, so I didn't know anything about it. I knew that I was supposed to go to the military. Why would you even put a person like me in the military? Like, you're kicking me out. But so my rebellion was college. That's crazy, but it's still like people only do what they know, and you have a system that doesn't resolve it and or rehabilitate. The only way a person is going to come out of a prison rehabilitated or in a better state of mind is if they already decided they were going to do that without your help.
Yeah.
They don't need you for that.
Yeah.
Like, the most that they could probably utilize you for is maybe getting some college experience because they didn't have access to it before. Maybe now they have medical insurance because they didn't have that before. Maybe they can eat every day now because they didn't have that before. But outside of that, the rest of the stuff that comes with it, they are only getting better because they don't ever want to come back.
Yeah.
So prison didn't do that. And so I think that they need to be rebuilt. If I have someone kill my son or my child, I would want to know that you went through something where you won't kill anybody else's child ever.
That's a tough one for me. That's a tough one for me on if they kill my child and
I don't think we get to go back and forth. I don't think we get to make the argument of like why you keep locking all these black people up and jumping on the bandwagon to lock everybody else up. Like, everybody wanted, people hated me with Trump. Everybody wanted Trump to go to prison. For what? What is that gonna do? White people not gonna be racist no more? Like, white people gonna treat us better? No, they're not. Like, people are freaking talking about Chauvin, is that how you say his name, that killed Floyd?
Yeah.
Officer. I wasn't excited that he was going to prison. Like, I kind of felt like on the fence about it. Like, it was like I was relieved because I knew black people would rest easy that night because he was convicted guilty. Okay. I wasn't relieved because I didn't know it was gonna be that day, but I knew somebody else was gonna die. Like, literally hours after he's convicted guilty, you have a young woman that's killed. And it's just like, so this has been happening just off of recent events, not even history of America. So what, Ahmaud Arbery, Is that what kicked everything off? Actually, it was probably somebody else before Ahmad, but Ahmad is like probably like the face of what started like, you know, attention on this. And we've been going through this almost every month since.
Yeah.
What has prison done for any of it?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I'm not going to sit up here and say, you know, stop locking all of us up, stop wrongfully convicting people, stop over sentencing people, you know, stop failing to do all this stuff. But, oh, it's okay if you do it for white people. No, because if it's okay if you do it for white people, then it's still okay if you do it for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times, like we, communities like Black and brown communities, all we want is retaliation. Like we want you to feel how we felt, or we want you to be treated how we got treated. Cool. But no, not when prisons, like the people that you're rooting to go to prison, it's like what, 1 out of a million? When we got what, like 900,000, like, you know, we got majority of them up in the prison.
Yeah.
Like they're not the strong majority. Like they made a sacrificial lamb of this police officer. They already knew this police officer was going to prison. Somebody had to go. Somebody had to take the rep. He was just the one. So I don't agree with it. I think there should be accountability. I think there should be something that happens for you to understand that you fucked up. Like, yeah. But I mean, not prison. Like, who would you wish prison on after going?
That's a tough one, man. Do you think he should have went to jail?
I mean, it's almost like she's saying like it's feeding the wolves, right? I could get what she's saying. Like now it's like people fall back and like now, whew, you know, everybody like yeah we got one, but like she said, I think it was two. There was two people that died after the cop conviction. It was the girl and there was somebody else. I think the young man or something like that.
Oh, it's two. Anthony, he's in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Makia and Anthony. Yes, it's two.
So like she's saying, like it has. If you wanted to stop, it has to stop for all races. And I kind of get.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
You know what
but
I mean?
I personally think some people deserve to be in jail. Like these mass murderers, these mass rapists, they can't get right and shit. I think there needs to be locked up.
Look, I believe it was, I'm probably about to mess up the country's name or the continent. Australia, maybe. I don't know. Could have been Switzerland. But they had a documentary online and you could see they were following a man that was incarcerated over there. But looking at it from me, like it just looked like he walked out to the lake, jumped in, went swimming, came back in, took a shower, and then walked into this little group therapy room with like other people and like surrounding chairs. He didn't look like he was anywhere near society.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he was around anything fancy, but he was in prison. But it's like, I don't know what that man did, but you got to be a human being in prison.
I've seen that. No, I've seen that. I think he was locked up for murder. I've seen that. I seen that video. He was chilling. He was coming in and out the crib and everything. I seen that. You're right.
Yeah, there were no gates, no dogs, no guns.
There was nothing. Yeah, she's right. I seen that. It's funny you said that. It was last week that I seen that actually.
Like he swam out and swam back. Like
yo, I'm gonna tell you. You know, she made a valid point. Think about what OJ beat, right? Them charges, right? You know what I mean? Like, do we think OJ should be in jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, he beat the first charges and they got him on the second charge.
But Joe, so
that was his fault for acting up after he beat that first one. Like,
but right,
he was bugging on that one, like.
But that's his fault. Listen,
like,
that's his
real. I would have been like, I would have been in the crib every day, just staring out the window and shit.
That's his fault for the second one. But the first one, he be murdered, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what he should have sat his ass down and fucking be a grandfather or whatever.
Like he's saying though, like, but did you wish prison on him at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know it. You know, why would I wish prison on him? It didn't affect me in any way.
Right, but I mean,
what I'm saying is, I think personally that certain people need to be locked away. Just that's my personal opinion. I can see it from your end as far as the whole prison is not changing anything. I could definitely feel you on that. But I definitely think. I mean, what's the alternative? So if somebody's a mass rapist and shit, just send him to a therapist.
Okay, so just listen to me. I'm gonna play out a scenario for you real quick. All right. So somebody goes down, they didn't kill 6, 7 people, right?
Mhm.
We know it. They know we know it. Everybody just waiting for, this guilty, verdict, right? Cool. There are people that are so experienced in America's justice system and the corruption. They know all of the tricks and loopholes to get out of crimes that they actually committed and broke, and will walk away scot-free, i.e. we're talking about O.J. Simpson, right, as well. O.J. did it. You had a very good lawyer that manipulated some things and got you off of it. There are a lot of great lawyers that manipulate motions, appeals, and get people out way sooner. Like, I've met a lot of people. It was unjustly, but there's some that I know that y'all did it. Y'all have found a way to get out of prison. Because a person goes to prison does not mean that person is staying there forever. Like, miss me with the fact that you heard that they got life. Okay. I know like 3 people off the top of my head that are out of prison off of life convictions. What does that mean? So it makes people feel comfortable for a moment that a person is somewhere that's not accessible to anything. However, that doesn't mean they're staying there, like, at all. So if they have enough knowledge or know the right people or know the right person or had the right slip up, like somebody could have messed something up. And if they caught it, they can use that against them. Like, if I would have known the fact that they took my BAC without a warrant, why am I here? Like, I could have, like, I pulled that real quick. Like, bro, you took it without a warrant. Like, nah, like, drop my charges. But I didn't know that. Like, that simple. So if I would have been the person that committed that car accident, I hurt somebody loses their son. And they see my BAC, like, my BAC is the reason I'm getting charged. I find out that y'all didn't have a warrant. I get my charges dropped down. Now who looks like the bad guy? It's the way out of it. Like, only thing prison teaches you is how to beat the system. And there's always a way to beat the system.
Facts.
So, like, a lot of people looking from the outside into it think it's a lot more solid than what it is. It's not. The only thing that's certain is that you're gonna leave messed up mentally. Like, that's gonna happen. You might, get a few, accolades on your belt, educate yourself on some things, prepare yourself, reconnect. There's some things that might, come out of that, but
It was deep. Thank you, sister. I appreciate
you. Yeah. I definitely love the honesty. Definitely. And we would love to have you on was it Saturday at 7 Eastern.
6.
That's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. No, it's 7. It's 7.
7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Saturday.
7
a.m. Yeah, we do it at 7 a.m. Oh, no.
I like to sleep in at least one day out of the week.
No, 7 p.m. It's gonna be 7 p.m.
No, definitely.
It's just like I said, it's gonna be an open forum, and everybody's just gonna discuss different things, and we have different topics, and hopefully, it comes out well.
I think it will. I mean, I have to look at see like some more of like your guests and see like different like personalities. But I can just judge it off like y'all just have like good personalities. Like, it's easy for me to speak with and I feel comfortable. So if that's always like the good lead, then it's never too hard to like ruin that. It gotta be like a trashy like guest to ruin that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
We haven't had any bad guests. We haven't really had. Nah, we got some trolls here and there. We got a couple of that but nothing major. So, is there any projects, anything you're working on, anything you want to shout out, anything?
Oh man, so we're with Correctional Views. Like, just real quick, I didn't go too deep into that. After I got out, I started a podcast. It is called A Correctional View, and it just goes through my storyline of like what happened, how it actually played out, prison, different things that happened inside of prison, and yeah, I just put it on the books. Just I really wanted people to know that there's no stereotype to prison, that there's not a certain type of Black that ends up in prison. Like you Black, you there. Like, you know, Black and brown people are like the prime suspects for everything. And so I just needed everybody to kind of humble themselves and realize that it's their problem too. Um, Correctional Views is an organization I ended up founding, and that is just to promote education on the proactive stance of incarceration. So the thing about most people are they're going to say, if I would have known X, Y, Z, then this would have happened. So why isn't anybody providing X, Y, and Z before it happens? And so that's not, but I know that that's not where money is. That's where things are not being funded. Because, you know, you start reducing the amount of people that go into prison, you messing with a lot of people's paychecks. So, you know, I'm not everybody's favorite person to hear about. But I think people were kind of excited once they realized like I am self-funded, and you know, I just applied for a 501c3 to try to get more funding in. I just got a chairman to my organization, so it's way more than me. Because like one person is doing a lot. We started up last year. I did a law-related education. There used to be a class that was funding where commissioners could allocate funding to teach all of this stuff to kids K through 12. They ruined it in 81, and nobody brings it back. So I'm trying to start that up. I'm going to speak out to some HBCUs because 1/4 of the year student population is going to jail and prison. Hey, what you doing about it? Okay, like let's talk. But just with the past 2 years of coming out of prison, I didn't get any help from any organization that labels themselves a reentry, like nothing, nobody. Everything that I've done has been hard work and connections from my alma mater, A&T, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. You know, I know people that know people, and Aggies always know somebody. And so, you know, my name was put in a lot of tables. Like I said, I bust my butt, and then, you know, I was able to make a lot of things happen for myself. Without the assistance of reentry programs. And my only concern is like what happens with people that don't have my resources and my connections.
Yeah.
So where do you get help at? You know, I had my mom, I came back to my mom with the car, no rent, you know, and then, you know, I had other, you know, support systems, but it's just like, what if you don't have that?
Yeah.
I also I was doing giveaways, but I had a problem finding a kind of source of people to give stuff away to. So I paused for a small moment, but I'm coming back this week with my podcast because I was trying to figure out how to finish giving away the stuff that I have. I had Black-owned organizations, sponsors, services, or just gifts, clothing and or like exercise stuff. And the only people that were going to be eligible were people that have been incarcerated or in probation jail. I didn't find them online. I don't know where they at. I asked some people, but then they wanted to like take it. You said what?
We need to hook you up with Florida Prison Wife. She does a lot of work with the prisons and advocacy and stuff like that as well.
Is that the fitness? She does like
No,
fitness stuff?
that's Florida. Fitness Florida's. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was say somebody just followed me. I just followed them back a couple days ago. It was like Fitness Prison Wife or something.
Yeah, it's something along them lines. It's Fitness Prison Wife. Yeah, no, but this one is Florida Prison Wife, and she does a lot. You know, she helps some of the inmates even get their stimulus checks and stuff like that. Like she goes in. She goes in. So,
yeah, that's super dope too. I would like love to anybody that connects out and reaches out to people is I think needed. But I just know that there has to be like an accountability metric on individuals that have been incarcerated once we get out as well. Because we all go back to our worlds, whatever that is. And in my world, I'm the only one here. Like nobody knows about it, and people forget, like literally forget that that's something that I still struggle with. People forget that I'm still on probation, and it's just like, yeah, like I have different things that affect me. Like, no, I'm not riding in the car if you're drunk. Like our nights are not going to be the same if we go to jail. Like you gonna go home. I'm going to Arizona. Like that's no. Like we don't have the same life no more.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And so like you just, people need to know that there's other people that are still going through things. They need to know that, just because a person has a job or bought anything, I will never kind of showcase things that I'm getting right now. Or kind of like idolize like my success esteem, because it's like, okay, cool, I have a job that pays me a lot of money and I have great benefits, and I still struggle. Don't think that I have money now and I'm good.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Puppy, like what Diddy said, like the realest thing in that song, but I was too young to like appreciate it. More money, more problems.
Yeah. More money, the higher your bills go up. That's what it should have been called.
Bills be popping up like, yo, where you come from?
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, other than working on all that and just trying to create like a community of people, just, so they know like it's a positive setting, because like we all struggling in some way or form. That's all I got right now. And then trying to live. That's number one. Trying to have a life outside of prison, like completely. Like I haven't had a chance to do that, so I feel like this is like my hot girl summer, but not like on like a hot girl trapping summer. It's just like, yo, this is like the first summer I get to like be out and heat and do stuff, and yeah, so I want to live.
Yeah, I think this summer is gonna be somewhat-ish, normal-ish. A lot of bubbles, bubbles on the beach. It's gonna be filled, but somehow I feel like there's gonna be a lot of bubbles out there. Like people's gonna be creating their own little domes out there. But hey,
I think it's needed. I mean, everybody's been locked. Like, I feel that people need to sit back and reflect on how they felt with COVID, and understand like the impact. If like we got therapy going up the roof now, and we have all these people like suicidal and stuff. Like, can we just talk about prison again? Like,
yeah,
can we?
Yeah.
Because we had like delivery, cable, TV, games, phones, FaceTime, Zooms. Like, we had everything, and it was still hard. Let's talk about prison.
These kids had it tough. Like they was really going crazy. Like, man, I'm
like
glad.
No kid interaction. Nobody that speaks their language.
Hopefully by this time next year we'll be somewhat us. Hopefully about 85%. I'll take 85% back to normal. Because I think we about what 65% right now. Because
wait, but question: do y'all still like people though? The same?
I really don't like people at all. Anyway, no, just yeah.
I'm like super picky now about people, because it's like I feel like now it's like your energy comes off on me easier or something, because I'm not used to being around so many people.
I guess.
And so now it's just like if you got even a small, I'm like, no, we good. Don't.
It's a different world now. Everything is so hidden. You don't even see people anymore. You just see the mass, and everybody's coming and going now. They want to get into the store, get the stuff, go back to the car, so they can breathe and take the mask off. So there's no interaction really no more. It's just quick transactions. We like in an ant farm right now.
I just thought about that. How was like dating supposed to happen for the like?
Yeah.
You just like if you single, you just stuck.
Everything is online. You get that profile game up. Yeah. That I'm telling you, that's what this is the new world. You start off online and then you make it to the real world. It's not the other way around anymore. You cyber know people first, and then you get to really meet them afterwards. If you like,
I think I cyber like you. I might like you in real life.
Yeah, possibly for a short period of time. Swipe to the next one.
I'm not ready. He was like, I thought you was cute, but I accidentally swiped, right? So
yeah. It's a menu world now. We live in a menu world. Now you can catalog your people and pick them the way you want. It gets better. I've met some cool people online. Some real actually cool people.
I did a Hinge for 3 nights, and that's because my homegirl from New York, this was the beginning of COVID though. Like we were trying to figure out what do we do? Like, what is this? So I got on it was entertaining. Like it was like funny. But I could never do that seriously. Like I could never like just be up there and talk. I think the only person I talked to like seriously was this guy. I think he was talking shit or something. Something like I would actually like respond to because like the rest of that stuff is just like and I think that's how I started talking to him. But like as soon as I like started talking to him, I got off of it. Like I've never got back on it. I don't have any, I can't I guess I don't. Some people, well, maybe it's not for attention if it's like you just want to meet somebody. I don't know. I just don't like it.
You're gonna have to hang out at the store or something.
Maybe
At
I'll
the
go sit at like the
supermarket, at Walmart, somewhere. You guys like, if you ain't finding them online, you gotta hang out somewhere to, find them.
maybe I can. I'm gonna just get like the see-through mask, like those like the plastic things.
That's your invention right there. That non-fog up.
So, like you can still see my face, and
Yeah.
then, but I'm gonna just need to see yours.
Yeah, here, throw one to them, let them put it on, and then there you go.
But like, hey, excuse me, can you just try this on real quick?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
your
I'm
quarantine.
today.
That's your quarantine invention right there. You got to get on it. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how that goes if I try it.
You might start something there. You might start mix the two together, a little dating service and the man.
Yo,
YouTube channel.
there should be like I feel like a COVID dating reality show has to pop up soon, right?
On YouTube.
I'm about to start it. Like, yo, no, y'all been lonely because it's COVID.
I just want my 5%. I just want my 5%. Just give me that kickback, 5%. I'm good.
That's nothing. That's
5%. That's nothing. That's nothing. I'm kind. But what we do, Maine.
Yeah. Before we end the show, we just want to get like the last message, from you, a message you could give to a viewer that needs some direction. Like, what would you tell them?
Need some direction. And so I just think in any realm in life, like regardless, like if you haven't been or you have been incarcerated, and you just feel like, okay, this doesn't get easier. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody keeps telling me to put another foot in front of the other, but I keep getting another kind of hit. It's gonna sound bad, but that's gonna keep happening. The thing that you have to do is be able to find someone that you feel comfortable talking things through. So if that's a therapist, if that's someone that knows you all your life, or a friend, hey, like freaking look at my Instagram. Like you need someone to speak to about something, like you can hit me up. Because like if you feel lost, there's always a way. And there's always a light at the tunnel. Sometimes you just got real like cheap glasses on and you can't see it yet, but you gonna make some money and then you gonna get some, better prescriptions and you're gonna be able to see it. And that's not fluff. That's like real life.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes people have bad glasses for a year, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
Some people get lucky with like a couple of weeks to hit the lottery. So, it really just depends. But just find someone, anyone. If you, like I said, reach out to me. I have no problem. Just speaking with you and just like reminding you, like, you hurting? Cool. I'm human too. I hurt too. Like, this is real. This is common. It's okay.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say is like, you're not different. If you're hurting, you're just like the rest of us because we hurt too.
Yeah. So make sure you shout out your Instagram, anything, any way to reach
Instagram
out.
Is at girl Dom, literally girl Dom.
Spell it out. Spell it out. Spell it out.
DIRL D, like D as in dog. OM. So girl Dom. And then there's a Instagram Correctional Views for the nonprofit that I'm getting better with putting content on consistently. So just like work with your kid because it was just me. And so so we're doing that on like more consistent flow so people actually have like something to look at with that. So
I'll definitely put that in the description as well so they can get in contact with you.
So with Correctional Views, you can go to the website Correctional Views, like correct, like RRECTIONALVIEWS. Why was I having to like look at the words in my head to make sure I
Guys,
was spelling
sometimes
that
you gotta
right?
visualize it because I would be like, well,
Carry the two. Yeah, so correctionalviews.org is the website. Correctional Views is the Instagram. There's a Facebook. I wouldn't look at Facebook right now. There's not that much up there. But everything else. If you have been impacted by the system, definitely check out the website. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out different ways to strategize and roll out these giveaways. I got free stuff, right? Like I'm just trying to get it out. I have some online courses from some big people. It's one called Sidekick Bootcamp to find different streams of revenue. Class goes for $150. You've been impacted. It's gonna give you instructions of what you have to do. You can get that code for free. I just want people to have access because that class, that's one flex I will make for people. That class is the reason why I make $60K right now. And so I didn't go to school for that. Yeah, I am a communications coordinator. I was an English major. What? But I took that class and I honed in on some stuff. So I would never give anybody bull crap or fluff. Like I'm giving y'all what actually worked for me.
Yeah.
So definitely check that website out. And if there's anything or any questions, just IG you, girl. I got you. I'll answer, I promise.
Definitely. That's what's up. Well, again, we appreciate you coming on. I'm glad to hear that things is working out for you. You have a great attitude. We definitely would love to have you back on. Like I said, Saturday, if you want to tap in, I'm gonna send you the information, and you'll probably get a link after that. To get into the live or whatever. If you
Saturday at 7, I can be there for that one.
Okay. I'll send you the information. We'll tap in.
All right.
Again, keep doing what you're doing, and we appreciate you. Stay safe out there.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna try.
All right. Well, if you need anything, our door is always open. You're part of the family now. So anything you need to share, anything that comes up, anything, if you need anything for the organization, anything, hit us up and we'll try to help out as much as possible. Okay.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this.
You too. Okay. We'll get in contact with you. If they only knew. If they only knew.
If they only knew. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.